All right, everybody, we're going into a ZVZ between some two amazing players, and I'm really excited about this. But welcome back if you're just joining us. This is going to be a ZVZ between Puppylisk and Complexity Sasquatch. So this is on Belshire Vestige, and in the top left-hand side of the map is Complexity Sasquatch as the red zerg, and in the bottom right-hand side is Puppylisk as the blue zerg. And joining me in this cast today is going to be Brad Nightshade. Brad, how are you feeling about this game?
Feeling pretty good. You know, I don't think we've casted a ZVZ yet in this entire tournament, which has been somewhat disappointing because ZVZs are unbelievably fast-paced games. Well, actually, I stand corrected. They can be either unbelievably quick, and by lightning quick, they're over in 5 minutes. Or they sometimes can turn into the mid-game ones, but that's very, very uncommon. And I have seen games in ZVZ that have lasted literally an hour and a half. In fact, I remember seeing one online with cats, and it was Swarm Host versus Swarm Host, and it literally took like an hour and 45 minutes to finish. It was insane. So it is going to be pleasing to see a ZVZ here in MLG Spring Championship. It's all being played live in Anaheim. This is not an online tournament. It's an offline tournament. So a lot of new strategies are going to get played. I mean, I think with ZVZ, it's almost always a case of pool first, get speed for your lings, whoever gets banelings and then defends and all that other stuff. And it gets pretty dry, to be perfectly frank. And I'm really hopeful that this deviates from the norm. And speaking of deviating from the norm in ZVZ, Puppylisk just took his natural very, very quickly. And then taking a gas, and it looks like he'll throw down his pool after the fact.
Yeah, he's going for a very, very greedy build, and I think doing this versus Sasquatch is super dangerous. Sasquatch is somebody who is known to go for things like 10 pool speed or 10 pool banes, 10 pool drone pool, all kinds of stuff. So doing this versus Sasquatch shows that you've got some confidence in this matchup for sure. But Sasquatch is not doing any of those things this game. He's going for pool and then hatchery. So it's just going to be a standard opener for both sides, but Puppylisk is going to have the edge given to him because he's going to have the earlier natural, he's going to have the earlier gas, and therefore the earlier speed and earlier banelings. He should be, once he sees what's going on and he's going to see with that overlord, yeah, he sees that hatch time and he's going to be very happy with himself. So, but going into this game, what I'm expecting to see a little bit out of Sasquatch is some kind of heavy aggression play. Either target banes, which is something like, you go and you attack your opponent around 6:37 minutes with like 20 banelings, and you walk them in two at a time, and try and bust his door down and kill as much stuff as you can. Or maybe like a fast 3-base, 1-1 winning all in or something like that. I don't know too much about Puppylisk's gameplay, but so far it looks very greedy. And so if I would expect anything from him, I would say maybe 2-base Mutalisk into some kind of transition. What do you think, Brad? What do you think you're going to see this game?
I think, yeah, you're going to see Mutalisk in this game for sure, especially when you're taking 2 gases right off the get-go. Roach Hydra is not going to be too bad. Oh, I stand corrected. He's just using the gases in order to save those particular drones from dying. One of them does ultimately fall. The Queen is there to help take care of business and does ultimately push these Zerglings out. This can go any number of ways. ZVZ, and to be perfectly frank, I'm actually surprised that we aren't seeing a pile of Zerglings piling across the map right now. But at the end of the day, Sasquatch is a very experienced player. He's from Sweden. He plays for Complexity Gaming. He has the experience, so when he's playing in Europe, and he does a lot of community tournaments, he's not unfamiliar with this kind of play, with playing in tournaments and having this kind of pressure. I don't know a whole lot about Puppylisk. Very greedy opener. This will reward him if he's able to hold. Obviously, he's not having any issues because there's no pressure at this point in time. So this early play by him is going to be, well, for lack of better terms, rewarded.
Yeah, and actually here, talking about as well as Zerglings, here's 20 Zerglings in addition to the ones already on the map. And he's pulled guys off of gas. Puppylisk is only on 19 workers. He's pulled everybody out of gas, so he's got, just the 19 workers. And Sasquatch has no Baneling Nest yet. Actually, he's skipping Baneling Nest. This is very bad. Sasquatch could be in quite a bit of trouble as there's just not enough stuff to hold off all of these Zerglings. He's got the Queens with the ramp are going to die. That ramp block is very, very nice. But there's so much stuff here, they're going to surround that Queen. Yeah, and there's no further blocks. These Zerglings can run rampant through the middle of the line, and Sasquatch is in a bad spot right now. He could lose outright. 18 Zerglings are in the production cap for Sasquatch, but all of these Zerglings are doing work on the mineral line so far. Only three workers have been killed. But behind this, Puppylisk has grown and he's making a roach war. He wants to continue the aggression after this attack.
It does look like it is ultimately going to get cleaned up. There's enough Zerglings on Sasquatch's side to be able to push this back, and as you can see, all of these lings are running, and it's tails of Zerglings with wings of Zerglings versus wings of Zerglings. I love the new skin; it looks kind of cool, an absolute beast on the graphics card. But fortunately, if you have a decent one, this actually will look pretty damn cool. And yep, and it looks like a counterattack to where Sasquatch. He's going to push on in here, take out a queen of his own, and move on up and into Puppylisk's face. Now Puppylisk has to deal with the same kind of problem that he put through Sasquatch. So, and I think this is also really good for Sasquatch. He's getting a lot of good scouting information as he's flying on through here. Yes, he's not killing a whole lot of workers. Neither of them really did. 5 and 2. So it wasn't like these were unbelievably potent attacks and trying to kill economies. I mean, they could have, but it's more scouting. And I think at this point in time, both players knows exactly what each other is doing at this point.
Yeah, and so let's take a look at where everybody stands as the dust kind of settles. Sasquatch is still running back with some Zerglings. Right now, it is 35 worker supply for Puppylisk versus 25 of Sasquatch. And actually, Puppylisk is going for more gases, so he's taking up the lair. He's probably going to do some sort of speed roach timing. A good run by Sasquatch is doing a good amount of damage in the natural of Puppylisk. Well, Puppylisk is running into Sasquatch's base, and he's probably going to get a queen snipe, and there's 60 more Zerglings are in production, but a lot of drones are going to go down. This queen is going to go down, and everything has to be evacuated to the natural again. Now there's 8 kills for Puppylisk, while the natural has been cleaned up on Puppylisk's side of the map, so Sasquatch is no longer doing damage there. This main hatchery may get sniped. That would be huge. Okay, there we go. Enough Zerglings come out from Sasquatch to clean that up, but still, that is a big deal, and Sasquatch is very, very much behind in this game. Roach production is starting for both players, but Sasquatch has just not quite the workers to keep up with him.
No, he's not able to do so. These perpetual attacks have been slowing him down from being able to create drones. He's having to use that larvae in order to be able to create more and more Zerglings. It's 33 to 23 drones, and that is significant at this particular point in the game, where literally 10 drones mining is substantial every time they return. It's 5 minerals every time. It's 50 minerals every go, and they do return quite quickly. So that is substantial. If you do take a look, it's 1,100 minerals a minute versus around high 70s, around 800 minerals a minute as well. 33 to 31. It looks like a drone cycle did finally complete for Sasquatch. He's brought it back up to par, 32 to 32, and they're finally looking a little bit better. Things are stabilizing for Sasquatch. But this early lead by Puppylisk certainly was beneficial, but I think it's been squandered away a little bit. Roaches are on the way, 7 of them in total. Once they do pop and they get out on there, this is where it's going to be the big game changer, because the lings with the roaches will be able to exact a great deal of revenge on Sasquatch for this continue running around by these lings on the left-hand side of the map.
Yeah, those are keeping Puppylisk busy. But here's something that's interesting. Sasquatch managed to sneak in a very, very quick +1 weapons. He was for roaches. He wanted to go for 1/1 lings, but that plan was foiled by the early aggression. So we went back to something more standard. So if he can keep up with roach production against all the roaches of Puppylisk, he will have an advantage in the fight. He's just it's the initial hole that's going to be worrisome. He's brought his spine crawlers forward. He's got lings. He's got roaches. He's even got a queen ready. But this is a lot of forces from Puppylisk. Here's Banelings. He's going to have to be very careful to make sure that Banelings don't connect. And here comes the engagement. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for Sasquatch. Sasquatch pushing him back. There, the Banelings. The roaches need to keep their eye on the Banelings, but all of the Zerglings got cleaned up by Puppylisk. But with these 4 spine crawlers plus roaches, I feel like Sasquatch has held just pretty admirably, and he's going to have roach speed followed up with this.
Yep, and that's enough to push Puppylisk away and dissuade him from continuing on that attack. He sees that he's upgraded and that there's enough meat and potatoes at the front door to stop anything from running in. And with that, it looks like he's going to expand on over to his third and take that. He does have some of the Zerglings on over there, and we do see that there is a drone about to pop into position, and indeed does drop down. So a third being taken here by Puppylisk. Very, very nice. While attacking, you should always be expanding behind it. It'll be interesting to see. Yes, indeed, a third is also taken by Sasquatch. So both players very much mimicking each other as far as expansions go, and even actually with tech paths the way they're going. But like you said, that +1 upgrade being so beneficial. Glial reconstitution is being researched right now here for the roaches. So once the roach speed finishes up for Puppylisk, you'll have some quick roaches. But as it sits right now, it looks like the Sasquatch has that speed advantage just for a short period of time.
Yeah, Sasquatch has the speed advantage. They're both sitting pretty on around 40 drones, which is kind of the magic number for two base start. But there's a split attack coming, and Sasquatch needs to be very careful. There's a split attack coming from Puppylisk. There's a bunch of roaches on the left-hand side and just some blink. The roaches are actually catching Sasquatch out of position. Sasquatch is going to be Sasquatch's got to be careful with this engagement. He's not got the greatest contact, but yeah, Puppylisk backs off, and the force at the third of Sasquatch has been bended away as well. So Sasquatch is going to be feeling pretty happy about that. The resources lost, that's the word I'm looking for. Resources lost now favors Sasquatch by about 1,000 resources. But another run by might actually force a cancel on this third. This is not looking good. If he doesn't cancel, he may actually end up losing entirely. It does go up, and if the stuff doesn't get there very quickly, it's going to go down.
No, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, and the three roaches that did show up are not going to be enough to dissuade this, and it does ultimately fall. Meanwhile, there is a very large engagement down in front of the natural here of Puppylisk. Sasquatch trying to make a bit of a push here. Double pumping the upgrades is Puppylisk, and he's going to come heading on back out. He does have a speed upgrade now, so he's supposed to be feeling good about that. However, that third looks like it's going to fall as well, and Puppylisk is going to receive the favor, I guess, from Saskatchewan. It's going to return it back. Yep, indeed, third does ultimately fall. And I think we're kind of back at square one, although, yeah, the supplies are pretty close, 115 to 122. Roaches with 1-0 upgrades versus roaches with no upgrades. However, that being said, missile attacks and carapace are going to finish fairly soon, literally about 20 seconds. So if Puppylisk is able to hold out, he will have an advantage going into this. But he seems to keep pushing forward and trying to do this head-on-head against superior numbers and superior upgrades. He needs to wait if he wants to hold out in this particular fight.
Yeah, and there's the upgrade finishing. What he was afraid of, he kept pushing out into Sasquatch's workers, or into Sasquatch's roaches, because the evolution chambers were out in front. They're part of the wall. If these roaches weren't there to fight Sasquatch, Sasquatch might have sniped the upgrade. But now Puppylisk is just behind an army supply. This is not looking very good. Puppylisk, Sasquatch has come back from that very bad opening for him, and he's actually just smashing his way through Puppylisk's army. There's not going to be anything that Puppylisk can do. That's it. Well played goes down, as Sasquatch takes a very surprising 1-0 over Puppylisk.
Absolutely. Very, very quick indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break while we get ready and queue up game number 2 in this best of 3 series in the losers bracket round 2. The loser of this series will unfortunately pack their bags and head on home, and the winner will move on forward. Stay tuned. My name is Nightshade.
And I'm Judge, and we'll see you back here in just a few seconds.